So, I don't know if you guys saw this news story a few months ago. You probably did because it made international news. It was a pretty big news story I saw it on BBC News, CBC here in Canada, CNN in the US. I think it was a pretty big international news story. So you probably saw it, especially if you are Filipino. You probably knew about this a lot earlier than I did, but here's the news story on BBC News, right? Rodrigo Duterte, Philippines not a dump site for Canadian waste. Did you hear about this story? Now, when I saw this a few months ago, that was the first time I ever heard about this. But what happened was uh, Canada sent 103 shipping containers, right? Big shipping containers full of garbage to the Philippines back in 2013. Right? So we're talking 6 years ago. This is the first time I heard about it just a few months ago. And when I first saw this news story, I was like, what on earth? And I was gonna make a video about it then, but the story wasn't finished. It seemed to be, I would always read new things about it every day. At one point, President Duterte even threatened to declare war on Canada if Canada didn't go in and take back the garbage. So yeah, like I said, this story was just crazy. When I saw it, I was a bit bewildered. How could this happen? But anyway, I just want to make this video to say sorry to the people, to the Philippines, just to apologize for this. So I'm very sorry for, sending this garbage on behalf of Canada, right? I'm a Canadian, and I know a lot of my subscribers are from the Philippines. I'm not sure how many subscribers. If you're a Filipino, say hi down in the comments. I want to know how many Filipino subscribers I have. But this is just a real shame. As a Canadian, it's just such a shameful thing for Canada to send 103 shipping containers full of garbage to another country. It doesn't matter what country. It's just a shameful thing. So it's just really unfortunate that happened. I don't know how it happened. When I saw this, I was like, how could something like this happen? 6 years. Okay, 6 years ago, and nothing was done for 6 years. Now I know mistakes happen. I don't know how a mistake like this could happen, but I understand mistakes happen. What I don't understand is how it took 6 years for this situation to be resolved. 6 years, right? So this morning, Saturday, June, what is it today? June 29th, okay? This morning, a ship containing the garbage arrived back in Vancouver. Okay, so this is the end of the story. That's why I'm making the video today. Right? The garbage has arrived back in Canada. So it's not in the Philippines anymore, thank goodness. I don't know why it ever left Canada to begin with. Why can't countries just deal with their own problems? Deal with their own garbage. Back when I was in college, I remember doing a project looking at the e-waste that Canada shipped over to China. E-waste is like electronic waste, right? Like if you take a look at my computer, right, in 10 or 20 years when my computer is old and nobody wants it, what happens to it? Well, that's called e-waste, and Canada ships its e-waste to other countries. And I remember back, when I was in college doing that project, thinking how bad that is. That a country ships, especially like a rich country or a country that is perceived to be rich, like Canada, sends its waste over to, a poor country for like poor people to deal with. I remember watching a documentary about the e-waste issue, and a lot of people in China who deal with the e-waste, who like melt the materials down to recycle the materials. A lot of those people end up getting cancer and other really horrible diseases because they're working with like the chemicals, burning chemicals from the waste. So that's not good. It's just an understatement to say it's not good. Countries should just deal with their own problems. In my opinion, if I were the Prime Minister of Canada in this situation, first I would say, look, we're not going to send our garbage to other countries. And if a mistake happened, where we send 103, it's a big mistake. If we send 103 shipping containers of garbage to the Philippines, the first thing I would say is, hey, guys, I'm very sorry that this happened. I don't know how it happened. It's a mistake. We're going to deal with it. We're going to fix it. We're going to send a ship, okay? A big ship, and we're going to take back our garbage. Done, right? Done deal. But it took 6 years. It's 6 years. Now, if the Philippines had the processing facilities and they said, okay, we're going to process it, then I would say, okay, we're going to give you money. However, whatever happens, we're gonna solve this situation, right? If we can't, or if you want to just process it there, we'll give you a few $1,000,000. Apparently, it cost about I think just over $1 million Canadian dollars for us to bring this garbage back home. Okay, so if I were the Prime Minister, I would say, okay, we're gonna take this out, and we're gonna give you money to compensate, for the inconvenience. I don't know what you would call it, the trauma of having all these shipping containers of garbage rotting in your ports for 6 years. Now, I didn't mention that these shipping containers contained diapers, right? Garbage, e-waste, plastic, but they also contained diapers. Can you imagine a rotting diapers in Manila heat? It gets hot in the Philippines, right? We're talking 50 degrees Celsius, maybe higher, right, in the summer. And can you imagine a pile of diapers in 50-degree heat just rotting for 6 years? There's a loud plane flying over my house. I hope it's not going to the Philippines, taking our garbage over there. But yeah, diapers. I mean, this is just there's so many weird things about this story that it's so shameful. But yeah, if I were the Prime Minister of Canada, I would just deal with it. Okay, I would say, okay, we're going to take it back and we're going to give you money. Now, if you have the facilities to process this and you would rather just have money, we're going to give you the money straight, directly, so that we don't have to hire a ship, right? So here's $1 million, like $1.5 million, okay, up front, and then we're going to give you more money just to compensate this, and an official apology. Like this was back in the 2014. That was before Justin Trudeau got into office. Okay, so this isn't Trudeau's fault. Now, I think it's partly, I don't know why he hasn't dealt with this sooner, but this was back when Stephen Harper was the Prime Minister of Canada. So if I were Stephen Harper or if I were Justin Trudeau, I would just fly over to the Philippines and say, hey, guys, I'm really sorry about this. And, spend a day or a week just walking around the streets of Manila picking up garbage as like a goodwill gesture. Great. I think it would send a powerful signal if the Prime Minister of Canada went over to Manila and just walked around the streets picking up garbage and saying, hey, really sorry for this problem. We're going to deal with it. We don't want our relationship to be soured in any way, because Canadians and Filipinos, they get along great. They have a great relationship. There are a lot of Filipinos here in Canada. Maybe you didn't know this, but I think Canada has about 1 million people, 1 million Filipino immigrants, maybe just a bit under 1 million. And that's a lot, considering Canada's population is only about 37 million. right? So that's about 2 or 3% of Canada's population is Filipino. So we don't want our relationship to be soured in any way, but unfortunately, it was over this situation. So yeah, I don't know why our leaders, why our politicians took so long to deal with this situation. It's a real shame. So I just wanted to say a big sorry on behalf of Canada and all Canadians. I know I'm not the only Canadian who feels ashamed about this. Yeah, so it's just I hope it never happens in the future. I hope this doesn't happen. It's not just the Philippines, right? Malaysia is complaining about Canada's trash policy. I'm sure people in China and other countries are thinking just keep your own garbage, keep your own freaking garbage in your own country, which makes perfect sense, right? If any country, sent us 103 shipping containers of garbage and they were just sitting in Vancouver, the port of Vancouver, for 6 years with rotting diapers, I wouldn't be happy about it. I'm sure Canadians would be outraged, just as the Filipinos were, over the last 6 years. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I was thinking about making a video to apologize to the Philippines a few months ago, but I just wanted to see what happened. It was really interesting, President Duterte's rhetoric. He's a really interesting guy. I really like him. I really like honest people who are just genuine, and they're not the typical politicians. So I like guys like Duterte who are just real people. They're not the political correctness. I hate political correctness, right? A guy like Justin Trudeau is the king of political correctness. So I don't like that. I like people who are honest, who are real. So I really like President Duterte of the Philippines. And I hope I can visit the Philippines in the future. I've wanted to visit the Philippines for a long time, but it just hasn't happened yet. But it's about on the top of my list. Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia. I'm coming to you guys. I'm coming to your country. Your countries very soon. I hope soon. It just hasn't happened yet, but that's top of my list of places to go. So I hope I can visit the Philippines at some point. Again, I'm very sorry for this crazy, I don't even know what to call it, shameful, outrageous thing that happened. It's just a real problem. It's a tragedy, and I hope it won't happen again. So I hope you can forgive us, Canadians. I hope you will accept my apology and our apology, as a country. And I hope you're having a warm day over in Manila. It's kind of cold here in Canada, even though it's a summer. Now you can rest in peace. You don't have dozens of shipping containers of rotting diapers in the ports of Manila. So hey, that's a step in the right direction. Now we have all that garbage back in Canada, where it came from, where it belongs. Hopefully we never send garbage to any other country again. So hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys over in my next video.